Too much pot tar.
way too much pod tar. Like that shouldn't have been like the first thing that he brought up. Like talking about the relationship between the fans and and then you say that. Like, come on, dude. No, the fans care about the product on the field. They don't give a shit about the marquee network.
Another episode of Too Much Pod Tar, as I have Joey Ricotta. I said that right? I don't remember if it was. Is it Ricotta or Ricotta?
Either way, you can pronounce it ricotta or ricotta. Normally, it's ricotta, the American English.
But yeah, for our Cubs episode of our 30 teams and 30 pods. So yeah, big story this offseason been is going to trade Kris Bryant. Been speculated a lot so far. So I don't know if he's going to be. I think he'll be on the team by, for opening day, but maybe he'll be traded by the deadline or something. Depends on what happens. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm hoping he's not.
Yeah.
And I hope that they could come to some type of an extension. He lost his grievance recently, which, it was predictable, like there's no way that they're going to have him win his grievance. And then you've got, the CBA coming up next year, right?
Yeah, next year.
So there's no way like they're going to let him win. And he had a legit case. The guy was ready, to play in the big league. They wanted an extra year of control, but you could tell they manipulated the situation, but there's just nobody's winning that, so it's like everybody saw it coming with the grievance. But and then Bob Nightingale, he put out a report or an article. I don't know if I think it wasn't in his article, but he said that the relationship, I'm not these aren't exact quotes, but he said the relationship between the Cubs and Bryant was really tarnished, and it's going to be hard to move past this, and basically just doing what normal Bob Nightingale, just doing his normal things, just talking shit. But I mean, he obviously heard it from somewhere, probably at least.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just doesn't really sound like it was true, because like Gordon Whitmire, who's a longtime Cubs beat writer, I mean, he's very well respected, and he's got more Chicago connects than Nightingale.
Yeah.
He pretty much said no, that's like completely not true. So, I mean, and I didn't think it was anyways. I mean, Bryant even came out and said that there's no hard feelings, anything like that. And I mean, it's business at the end of the day. I think he's not dumb. Neither is Scott Boras. I mean, they know that they weren't going to win the grievance, so they're just pretty much fighting for it, just to fight for it, just in case, But I really hope he's not traded, because I was actually listening to 670 The Score, and I had already kind of saw this beforehand, but it just refreshed my memory. But it was since 2015 through last season, he's got the most total WAR. I'm sorry, not the most, the third most total WAR behind. You could pretty much guess the two other guys, Trout and Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's just crazy that he's kind of declined a little bit the last couple of years, but he had a bounce back season last year before getting, he went down a little bit, but I mean, he still put up good numbers, and it's like the guy's got I believe a career 900 OPS. So I mean, like, I don't know, he's just so good, dude. Like, I would just hate for them to see the Cubs get nothing in return for Bryant. And I mean, with this whole Mookie Betts thing, Which I don't know. I didn't, before we started this, I didn't see if it became official or not yet, because I thought there was still some, um, was it physical stuff that they were.
The one, no, actually, it wasn't even physical. It was the Red Sox. Like now, when they looked at his medical records. Now they were saying, oh, what Gratterall from the Twins, he's going to be like a reliever, and then, well, that's what the Twins looked at him as anyway. So I don't know what the hell that was about, but like now they want something else from the Twins uh,
Really?
for that deal. Like
I saw it was something with Gratterall. I didn't know that they were going to ask for something. How did they not see that he could potentially be a closer with his track record, though? I don't get it.
Not sure, but yeah, it's not official yet. But I saw something earlier about it. It's like a lot of like some people in the situation were thinking it might not happen now.
Huh.
So it's like weird. Like I don't know if I think they're gonna try to still get it done, but like it's gonna be like another prospect from the Twins or something.
Yeah, I really hope it doesn't get done, because that's just gonna turn the Dodgers into a. I mean, they already are a powerhouse, but I think that just makes them a lock to pretty much go to the NLCS and probably the World Series.
Yeah.
But which really sucks if the Cubs are even trying to compete this year, which, I mean, I'm sure we'll get to everything else, but with this whole Bryant thing, I don't really see him being traded before the deadline, to be honest. And it's kind of weird, because if you don't trade him until the deadline, then you're talking about you only have pretty much a year and a half left. And if you were to trade him now before the season, you've got 2 years left for somebody, 2 full seasons.
Right.
So I don't want him to walk in free agency and the Cubs get nothing for him. I mean, I don't want that either. But he's just so valuable. He's way too important to the Cubs. I mean, the 2016 team, they wouldn't have even. I mean, I know we're going back in time, but it's not like he wasn't productive last season.
Yeah.
In 17 and 16 obviously was the MVP year, and I mean he made the final out. Like, just him cheesing as he's picking up the ball, like, and just like throwing it over there with that little slow roller, or that kind of in between play. I mean, him cheesing on that, the curse breaking game, and then the World Series win. It's like, how do you get rid of somebody like that? He is so valuable to the Cubs, and forever I'll forever be grateful for everything he's done for the Cubs. Like, I just don't want to see the guy go, because he's got so much more to give. I feel like, people look at his StatCast numbers, and they're not the sexiest. When you look at that, like, there's the underlying stats, like, hard hit rate and all the other stuff, and I get it, but I kind of don't get it at the same time, because he's still going to put up his numbers. He's shown that he's still going to put up. The only year that he didn't was in 18, and the guy was hurt. Clearly, his shoulder was hurt all season, and he was just playing through it. He just didn't get a surgery done. I mean, he just was like, well, it's I don't really. It's an injury that you could pretty much you just play through, and you just need rest for it to really heal. And he just kept playing through it, and you could see the power numbers take a real dip. But man, he's just, and he could provide so much, because he could play the two corner spots in the outfield. He could play first base in a pinch too. So great base runner. I mean, I don't know, man. It'll be a sad day for me if they let him go.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking like maybe part of it's like they're only going to be able to keep one of Bryant and Baez, so like,
yeah,
that's maybe the one that they want to keep, because he's I don't know which one. What are your thoughts on that? Which one would you rather keep if you had to have just one?
That's definitely the big thing to me. Is, I mean, they don't know if they can reach an extension with. They want to extend both, I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
but do they really want to? I think you should just make it a priority to extend both. But, then you're talking about these heavy contracts, and then you're talking about like business decisions. I mean, they just haven't been good with like the Hayward contract, which is ridiculous. Like 12.8% of the payroll or whatever it is. Chatwood's at like 7% of the payroll. If I had to choose between Baez and Bryant, I mean, that's tough for me, to be honest, because I'm a huge Baez fan. Like, I love Baez, and I know, he's more the flashier player.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've talked about it like in the past, like me, you, and Johnny, but I think, like aging wise, yeah, Bryant will definitely age better because he's not like, he doesn't have to rely on his speed to play a corner spot in the infield.
Yeah.
And, he could kind of like let his bat do more of the talking. Whereas Baez is going to need that flash. He's going to need that quickness. And like smaller guys like him, like in comparison to Brian, he's going to need like his power numbers. I could see his power numbers taking a dip as we go further along because he just puts so much into his swing too, for the most part. I don't know. I love, like I said, I love Baez. They both add so much, and what Baez brings with his glove too. I mean, you just can't replace that at shortstop.
Yeah.
So there's cases for both of them. Like I don't want to see either one of them go, but Cubs fans are probably gonna hate me. But I'd lean towards Brian, but I don't know. Like I said, Baez and Rizzo. Rizzo's always been one of my favorite players on the Cubs, just because he's been there the longest, and the whole Italian thing, and it's like love Rizzo, but Baez, as far as like favorite player to watch, it's Baez.
Yeah.
But you talk about like most valuable to the team, like in the future, and weighing all that stuff. I gotta believe that Brian has already been more valuable than Baez is, in terms of if you were to put like a dollar amount on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bryant has been more valuable because Baez kind of he wasn't as great as he has been the last couple of years.
Right.
Like when he first came up, whereas Bryant's just been consistent. He just had that one down year for the most part.
Yeah. The whole question, like me asking you how, like between Brian and Baez, it's kind of like if you ask me, like between, I don't know, Judge and probably Torres, because both of them are like equally, like I love both of them equally, pretty much.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah,
They're both like, we're gonna have to pay them soon. Like they're both getting towards the ends of their like original contracts, so.
yeah, that's gonna be a tough decision for him. I think. Yeah, again, and you got to weigh the injury thing too. With Judge. Like that's the guy. Is Gleyber Torres? He missed much time at all? I don't.
He I don't think I don't think he missed much. He was out for a little bit, but it wasn't that long. I don't think.
Yeah, whereas like Judge and he's missed a little bit of time.
Yeah. No, it's like it wasn't really his fault either. He got just like get
Yeah,
5 pitches or whatever it was.
that's true. They were pretty much fluke things that happened. As far as like aging better, like I think it's like the same situation. Then I think Judge would probably age better. Playing like a corner spot, and then you could always move him to DH, and you have like that great bat in the lineup for years to come. If it came to that, which you don't want him to be DHing, but I don't know, man. Yeah, that's another tough one. Like Glaber's terrific too. I still wish he was a Cub, but we don't get that World Series if we don't get rid of him. So just imagine, since this is a Cubs podcast, like imagine a team where with the Cubs not getting rid of Soler for Wade Davis,
Mm,
not trading Torres for
yeah.
Chapman, maybe getting another reliever, which you still would have had to give something up that season, but and we don't know. I mean, Chapman was lights out, but if you had a team with Soler, Torres, and there was one other player that I'm forgetting that they got rid of. Oh, well, a couple of guys actually with Jimenez with the White Sox,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Eloy Jimenez, and then you have Dylan Cease too.
Mm,
So it's like, just imagine that young core of players. Like, I mean, you probably don't you have too many outfield spots or too many players to even play the outfield because Soler and Jimenez would both be corner outfield guys, and they're not good on defense.
mm,
So it's kind of unrealistic. But like with Torres and Baez, if you had one of those two playing second base and the other one playing short, like that's an insane team.
yeah.
It's like Theo did a great job of building this team. He's done a terrible job of keeping it together. He just can't keep it together. All the moves he's made, even the free agent moves. I mean, just crippling contracts with Hayward. I mean, Hayward and Chatwood, who Chatwood was a lot better last season. I gotta admit, but
Mm,
you're paying for a guy who only made a few starts, and he really was like a bullpen arm. Like a middle relief, like sixth, seventh inning guy. And he was one of the sturdier ones actually because the bullpen was so terrible last season. But he wasn't used like a high leverage guy because you still didn't really had trust in him. Madden didn't anyways.
yeah.
And it's like, it's just, I don't know. The free agent moves have been his downfall by far, and the trades too play into that. Trying to go for it all in one season rather than sticking to what got you to this point by building it all through the draft and acquiring young players through trades. Good young prospects, and it's really sad to see, but. And now you're forced into this position of like, well, we might not be able to pay KB and Javi. It's like that should never be an issue, especially all the money that the Cubs actually have, being one of the top teams as far as how much money they have. One of the big markets. They should have no problem forking out the money. I mean, the Ricketts have so much money. The Cubs are making so much money on everything. And
Mhm.
they just got their own TV network, like the Yes Network with the Yankees, and then they have the Marquee Network, and it's like, and it seems like, especially to Cubs fans and everybody, and I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people have been, and they're booing, the Ricketts in public and when he's doing interviews and stuff because it seems like that's what they care about. They care more about their own money than putting a winning club on the team, which
Mhm.
is sad at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like the if I who I would pick between Judge and Torres, I think I would go with Judge just because he's like basically the captain of the team, so
yeah,
he's probably more valuable. And then like with the infield, like there's so many. I think we have more options in the infield if we had to get rid of Gleyber.
yeah. I think you're right, and I think yeah, that's the guy that's like really in the public eye. Like he's looked at as the star, as far as like importance to the team goes. Like I think there's nobody that's more important or like a larger figure than Aaron Judge is, like especially when he broke onto the scene.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you get rid of somebody like that but yeah, you're definitely going to have I'm sure you will have that decision to make because with the big contract to Cole,
Yeah.
that's which it's deserving, obviously.
Yeah.
But
And we have to pay. Hey, Sanchez too. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and
what do you do there?
I don't know.
Does he become part of that? Like, if we have to choose, or is just catcher just too valuable of a spot where you just can't lose him?
Yeah, I feel like you just. I think you just automatically like, no matter what it takes, just get him back. Because I think catcher. Yeah, I think catcher is too valuable. Like, there's not really. It's kind of hard to find another one that like that's probably one of the most important positions, and then it's hard to find like actually replace him
Yeah, I would agree with that.
because like
He improved his defense a lot too.
yeah.
Like, especially from when he first came into the league, you know.
Oh wait, Gary's fat and lazy.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I kept hearing, you know. But I mean, and he did look bad at times, but
Yeah,
I mean, he really did improve his defense a lot. Yeah, I think that's somebody who, because like look around baseball too. How many hitting catchers are there that do what Gary Sanchez does? I mean, not many. There's
yeah,
Grandal. There's Real Muto. We have one Contreras.
right.
Um, and even then, like you're not getting that huge power outburst like you do with Sanchez. Really, for like I'd have to look at the stats, but I mean, I think Sanchez brings as much upside with the bat as any of them.
Definitely, yeah. Last year it was. I was hoping he was gonna be like comeback player of the year, like put up big numbers, but he didn't really put up massive numbers. So I think this year is gonna be like his big year. I think this year will end up being really good.
Yeah, yeah, especially like batting average wise, he wasn't really clicking that way. But I mean, he still had good power numbers though.
Yeah,
Still had like what 33, 34 bombs last year.
yeah, something like that.
So it was like, and Grandal had less than 30. I know that.
Mhm.
Contreras, he's like, I'm looking at it now. He had 24 last year, so,
Mm.
but definitely batting average wise, there's room for improvement there.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you look at like his baseball savant stuff, I mean, and you watch him like all the time, so I mean, he should come around. I feel like.
yeah,
I wonder if he's like swinging too much out of the zone, or because I don't watch him on a daily basis, but I haven't
yeah.
really looked at
I
his
think
numbers that way.
I think he does swing. Well, a lot of the guys on the Yankees do that. Like they swing out of the zone on like a slider or whatever. Sliders are like the big pitch that gets them every time. Like same with Stanton, Judge too. Like
Yeah,
they're trying too hard to go for home runs every time.
yeah, that makes sense. It's probably hard not to in that ballpark. like I can hit a home run whenever I want. All right. It's like I used to do the same thing when we'd play on like small diamonds, and
Yeah.
it would always fail. Like
Uh,
you look at a small diamond, you're like, it's only like 275 out to the left. Oh, I'm about to kill it today. And you're just like trying to launch one, you end up popping up or striking out. Like,
yeah. I remember a couple that was like, oh shit, this is a little league field. What the hell?
yeah, I know it's so true though. You look at the small fields and you just think you're about to do damage, and it's like, oh, that's what happens when you're trying to bop it out every time. I mean that's most of the league anyways now, even without like small fields or
Yeah.
everybody's just trying to hit one out anyways. But for the most part, um, they'll kind of tone it in a little bit. you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll go full on Joey, just like trying to mash one every time and just like pop out to shortstop. But especially like even if I had like a slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, with the Cubs, like, I don't know. I think we'll see what happens with them this year. I still think they can contend in the Central.
They
With
can.
all of this said, and it's gonna be tough because the Reds really improved. I mean, they did a lot this offseason. They've improved everywhere, and they improved last year. Their pitching staff,
Yeah.
starting staff, and they brought in guys in relief now too. They just signed Pedro Strop to a deal that was,
Mm.
I mean, pretty damn good. I don't understand. Just to talk about the Cubs again, I don't understand why the Cubs didn't bring him back for that kind of deal. I think it was less than $2 million,
Oh, damn.
and I think there was an incentive with it, maybe up to $3 million with the incentives. I could be wrong on that,
Mm.
but I mean, this is one of the best relievers in Cubs history. I mean, not talking closers, and especially when he was in that role of closer last year, wasn't too good, but
Mhm.
last year really was just a down year for him. And maybe the Cubs organization saw something that they don't feel like he can get back to the level that he was. I don't know. I'm not, in house, so I don't know these conversations that they're having. But um, I kind of like my personal belief is it was a down year. I mean, you look at all the numbers, and he's been one of the best relievers that the Cubs have ever had in history. Minus obviously like saves and stuff like that. But for that type of money, like the they've just been doing everything right this
Yeah.
offseason. Bringing in Castellanos, and the Castellanos was a guy I really wanted the Cubs to re-sign, which they're trying to get under the luxury tax, and they weren't gonna. Like in the back of my head, I knew that they probably weren't gonna bring him back, but he was so good for the Cubs when they traded for him.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy he just went off. He was the one consistent guy down the stretch. Um, you relied on him night in and night out. You just thought he was going to have a good game, and he pretty much did. And yeah, there's defensive concerns, and what are you going to do? You're going to put Hayward in center. He's not as good in center as he is in right. He's a potential Gold Glover. Well, actually, is a Gold Glover in right field. But even he took a little step back last season defensively. But even him taking a step back isn't what other people's steps back are. But I mean, he's much better in right field than he is in center field. So then you got Schwarber, who's not that good in left field, even though he's much improved from where he started. You still have two not so good defenders on the corners of the outfield, and then Hayward playing somewhat out of position in center field. And so I kind of understand it, but that's what you were doing last season, and the offense, it helped the offense a lot when you had Castellanos, and it's like they just didn't want to put the money into it. And man, the Reds look really strong though, not just from the Castellanos thing, but just all the other moves they've made too. But I don't think the Cardinals did much.
No,
I don't think
they lost to Zuna too. So
yeah, lost Ozuna. We'll see with Liberatore. If I don't know when he'll be there.
yeah.
But the Brewers, they lost players. They lost Grandal. They lost
Mustakas.
Yep. And he went to the Reds. So it's like, it's like literally they took players from the Reds single-handedly.
Yeah.
Took players away from teams in their division that were competing and contending last season, and brought them to their squad, and look to add on to the pieces they already had in place. And it's like, while it's a loss for your team, it's like the team that you're going to play 19 times a year has them.
Yeah.
So it's like, man,
It's all for naught. The Pirates are going to win the division anyway.
Oh yeah, Chris Archer's gonna get like 20 wins, and he's gonna put up like a 3.01 ERA.
Yeah, Cy Young.
Cy Young Archer.
Brian Reynolds MVP.
There you go. Kevin Newman breakout star.
Yeah.
Kevin Newman, Adam Frazier. Let's just go down the list.
I can't even think of other Pirates players.
There's a big name we're missing. I feel like first baseman. God, what the heck? I can't think right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know who it is. I just can't think right.
Oh shit!
It's gonna tick me off.
Yeah.
Pirates depth.
Oh shit! What the?
Pirates first baseman. Oh, Josh Bell.
Oh, we just thought of it at the same time.
Yeah, it's like how do we forget Josh Bell? That's the one player that they actually. Well, I mean, they do have other pieces, but like we talked about him. But
Joe Musgrave, he's gonna have a good season too.
Oh yeah, Musgrove. Yeah.
JT Riddle.
JT Riddle.
Cole Tucker, he's not bad.
Wait, JT Riddle? They have JT Riddle?
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster now. They have. I guess they signed him this offseason.
Really? I didn't even. I do like Mitch Keller though. I think he can be good.
Oh yeah, he was a free agent, so they signed him back in January.
Mm. Yeah, we'll see if Mitch Keller can take that step. I kind of like him in fantasy and stuff.
Oh yeah,
as like a later round, type of guy. I know some people might be reaching on him a little bit, but I'll take him as long as I don't have to reach too far. But because he's still unproven at the major league level. He was really inconsistent last year. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think the Cubs did enough like with the bullpen. They just did not do it. Like a full spring training for Kimbrel, I think that'll help. I think he bounces back. He's not going to be giving up first pitch bombs to Matt Carpenter or stuff like that. Like I mean, obviously he's going to have some rough patches. Everybody does throughout the season. But I see him having a much better year this year, and I really like Rowan Wick and Kyle Ryan, those guys at the back end. They brought in just this past week Jeremy Jeffress, who had a down year last year, but maybe he can, get back to the guy that he was. And that's what's so weird to me. Yeah, he was cheaper than Strop, but Jeffress literally had a down year just like Pedro Strop did.
Mm.
And Strop has a much longer track history of being good. Yeah. Why wouldn't you bring both of those guys in? They're both relatively cheap. If you're going to sign Jeffress, sign Strop too. I don't, it didn't make much sense to me, really. But
yeah,
we'll see how the rest of the bullpen shakes out. I think those are kind of the guys that are like set in there. They acquired Casey Sadler from the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Who's actually got some pretty good stuff. I was looking at like his spin rates and stuff. He's got some pretty decent stuff. I think he's got potential to really be good. Dylan Maples obviously is a guy that's been in the system for a while, up and down from the majors and minors. Really nasty stuff, but his control really. If he could figure out his control, he could be dynamite, but we'll really have to see what else happens with the bullpen. Like the four starters, who the four starters or 1 through 4 is going to be in whatever order. Like definitely 1 or 2 would be Darvish and Hendricks. You would think it as a 1-2, and I love what I saw from Darvish the second half of the season last year. He was lights out.
Yeah.
And he pitched like a Cy Young. The Cy Young potential that he has in the second half of the season, and really, I believe it was started in June, really, when he went on his run. But now because he got hurt his first year and had some issues, barely even played, and as a former Tommy John, so he's got his issues. But when he's on and if he's healthy, the guy's lights out. Hendricks is so consistent. He's favorite Cubs pitcher. You know what he's going to give you. Lester, can he bounce back? I don't know. He's getting up there in age, so we'll see. He had a rough year. Quintana was pretty solid for the most part. Definitely hasn't lived up to warrant that trade.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, so far, I think the Cubs have won the trade technically as far as what's happened, at the big league level. But like over time, did they really win the trade? Because these guys look like they're going to be pretty damn good with Cease and definitely Robert Jimenez. Excuse me.
All right. Yeah.
But the number 5 spot in the rotation, that's going to be the real question. Who's going to win that battle? I think right now it's probably between, Tyler Chatwood, who could be in the pen or in the rotation. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's included in like a Bryant deal to kind of get out from under that contract, like him or Hayward somehow. But then you're not going to get that much in return if you do something like that. But, I could see him being a number 5 or, Alec Mills. They acquired Jarrell Cotton this offseason. But Adbert Alzolay, that's the guy that I would really love to see step in and be a dude. I mean, he's got electric stuff. He flashed some of it last year when he got, his calling up. He got his first taste of the big leagues last year. And Alzolay, he was effectively wild even in his first start. And I think at one point he threw behind Robinson Cano. And they were like, whoa, was that because he wasn't getting in the box soon enough? Because he was like ready to go, dude. He was not wasting any time at all. He was just like so fired up. And I was like, I don't know if he was throwing at him. Like the announcers actually said that. And I was like, I don't know if that's – I think he was just – because even where they were setting up, like I think it was Contreras, wherever he was setting up, it was like he wasn't really hitting his spot. He was just like so nasty. They just couldn't touch him. So he was just like all over the place, but great stuff.
It's like the Wild thing.
Yeah, for real. He just needed the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
I hope we got some of the quotes for that movie on that quote podcast we did.
Hey, I think we did. Did we? I don't know. I remember now, though.
I would say we have to.
Had to have, though, because that has some awesome quotes in it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll have to go back and listen to that, though, because that was a good episode.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. I had a lot of fun with that.
When was that? Was that back in, like, June or something?
June or July. It was, like, one of the months of the season where it was, like, trying to come up with things to talk about on a weekly basis because it's just, like, you're just watching baseball at this point, and sometimes there's not a whole lot going on. It's just like stuff everybody knows about on a nightly basis. So, but yeah, that was a fun podcast for sure.
Hopefully we can still, like, this season still, like, do like a weekly show.
I think, yeah, we definitely should. Hopefully, we get enough guys that can do it too. Or, I mean, I'll try to make it for everyone too.
Yeah. It's just hard finding like a time to do it. It's like, I think last year it worked when we did like Sundays. Like Sundays are pretty much good every week.
Yeah, usually people are off on Sundays and have that time. This year, I'm gonna try to play ball again. Last year I took off and I didn't play, but I really want to just get out there and play again. My amateur self. But I don't know. So it might get kind of hard because it's a little bit out of town too. I usually drive like an hour to an hour and a half to go play because the league's not, where I'm from. But
Okay.
so it might be kind of hard, like getting back into town and doing podcast. But even if I hop on for like a half hour or something,
Yeah.
like, I could just be like, all right, guys, I got an andiamo. I'm dipping out.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, let you guys finish the show. But yeah, like we were talking about with the Cubs, like offensively, I think they'll be fine. They didn't address the leadoff position really at all.
No.
And second base is a huge question mark. And center field. But you've got Ian Happ, who, like, his underlying stats, I mean, they've got a lot of expectations for him, and he kind of hasn't really panned out. He started the year in the minors last year because of how bad he looked at times, and, like, especially just striking out too much. But, like, the pop in his bat, it's totally there. Right now he looks like he's going to be the everyday center fielder if it stays the same right now. But you got Albert Almora, and then they brought in Steven Souza Jr. to be kind of like bench of platoon guys in the outfield. But then Happ can, of course, play some second base too. But then you've got, David Bodie, Daniel Descalzo, Nico Horner, who Dude, I love Nico Horner.
Yeah, I was about to mention him. Yeah.
I really hope he wins that job in spring training. Like,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because I think, honestly, like, and he was doing really well in the minors, but I think they called him up a little prematurely. You couldn't tell on the field. But, I don't think, he wasn't really supposed to be called up that soon,
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's definitely not going to be handed to him in the spring. They're going to see, if he still has it at this level, or if he's going to maybe go through a little sophomore slump once they saw some tape on him at the big league level. But, I mean, then they brought in, Hernan Perez, who can hit lefties pretty well. We'll see if he makes the team or not, if he's going to be like a AAA guy. Robel Garcia, I kind of don't think he makes the team, but he showed flashes, like a lot of power last year. But other than that, yeah, you're pretty much set. Contreras, Rizzo, Baez, Bryant, Schwarber, who I think, he's got the potential to hit over 40 bombs. And he almost did hit 40 bombs last year. Hayward and Wright, you just can't get away from that contract. But he actually hit some decent. He had some decent power last year, and probably his best season as a Cub. So I don't know if we can get that Hayward again. I'll take that at this point. You know what he brings with the glove and on the base path. So.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, we'll just have to find out, see what they're gonna do to fill out these bench spots. It'll be interesting with the 26-man roster this year.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, like what teams go for more, if they want that extra pitcher, if they want that extra position spot. And I'm sure it's gonna go back and forth throughout the season, but
I think they actually said that you have to have it has to be a position player.
oh, they did say that?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Well, that takes away the decision then.
Yeah, because it said I think they said the maximum pitchers is 13.
Oh, okay. Well, 13 pitchers. Do you think that'd be more than enough, anyways?
Oh yeah, true.
Well, wait. Okay, so they can just. But what about the days when they have double headers, though? Because I thought they.
I think double headers it would be 27-man roster.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Because
for that.
Yeah, because they always they've been allowing you to carry the extra pitcher just on those days.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I remember last year with Chance Adams was always the 26th man on doubleheader days.
Chance for the Yankees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they DFA'd him now. Pretty sure. Because he wasn't too good.
I feel like the Cubs' go-to guy was Alec Mills, but I could be wrong. I don't know if they actually had a go-to guy technically, but I feel like he was the guy that, would always get the spot games, which then you had Chatwood, starting and going to the pen too. So I don't know. I'm so I've been hearing these rumors about Scooter Gennett and possibly Jason Kipnis too.
Oh yeah, I just saw something about Kipnis earlier.
Yeah, I mean those would be both of the. I actually think Gennett has a lot to offer. I mean he was hurt last year for the most part, and I don't think he ever really. He just didn't get into a groove when he came back. Who knows if he had some lingering issues too. But man, he's got the bat. When he's healthy, he's proven that, and I think he would be really good. And Kipnis is actually, I believe he's an original. Was drafted by the Cubs, or he's from Chicago. His family. Let me see. Yeah, he's from Northbrook, Illinois, but he's drafted by the Padres and the Indians. So he went through two different drafts because he went to Arizona State, and then he's from Northbrook, Illinois. But that'd be kind of an under the radar type of move that could pan out, I think, at second base. But what are you realistically expecting? The guy hasn't hit over 245 for the last 3 seasons. But decent pop at least. Gennett would be probably more of a, I think, higher upside at this point in their careers as far as with the bat goes. But he was an all-star in 2018.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think he didn't he. I think he had a game where he hit 4 homers in a game, I believe.
I remember that, I think.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think I was listening to it on the radio when I was driving, and I'm like, I think they said Scooter Gennett hit 4 homers, and I'm like, what? Scooter Gennett?
Yeah.
I know he can hit, but 4 homers in a game?
Yeah.
I think at the time he almost he doubled his home run total for the season or something like that. I could be wrong on that, but
that was back in 2017.
Oh, was it 17?
Yeah. I think it was the same year that J.J. Martinez hit 4 home runs. Yeah, you can hear this?
Oh, I can hear it, yeah.
Scooter Gennett, the second of his career. How about that? And here's the left-handed hitting Scooter Gennett. Gap to the plate. And this ball hammered into right center field, and it's a long 4-1, 2-run home run. You gotta be kidding. Scooter Gennett, have a night, young man.
I love this announcer.
It's Tom Brenneman.
This one down the left field line. Has he done it again?
Yeah.
So here we go. Liner to right field. Jet hit the first run ever with 4 home runs in a game. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
He's probably one
Dude.
of my favorite announcers.
Yeah, he's kind of like I don't know. I go back and forth on Brenneman. I like his voice and I like his like emotion. I thought it was hilarious when he there was like a Kris Bryant. I think he had a 3-run homer, and he was so pissed off. Like like sometimes he sounds like such a homer when he's like calling games, but
Yeah.
he is like as far as like his voice and like the calls themselves, like sometimes he can be one of the best,
All right. That's like that's what's his name from the Orioles announcer? What the hell? I forget his name.
Oh, I can't think. Are you talking about the Gleyber Torres thing though?
Yeah, it's like last year when Gleyber was going off against the Orioles, he kept getting so pissed. It's like,
Yeah.
Don't pitch to him anymore. God damn it.
Yeah, he was freaking out.
Remember the one game?
Is it Gary Thorne?
Oh, Gary Thorne, yeah. That's who it is.
Yeah, I remember though. He was like freaking out.
And then the one game later in the season, Paul O'Neill he went over to the Orioles broadcast booth and was like messing around with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they had it, like they actually showed it too, like on the air.
Huh.
Like he went over there during an inning. It was funny.
That's funny. Yeah, dude, Gleyber destroyed the Orioles last year and like his career, really. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
we're going off.
what's that?
Him and Gary went off against the Orioles last year.
Oh yeah, Gary too. Yeah, the great Sanchino.
Yeah.
Dude, let me know if you can hear this. I want to see if I can pull. I want you to listen to this. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's hilarious. I hope this is it.
Tension here on this Sunday afternoon
Can you hear that?
at Great American Ballpark. This is a huge game for the Reds. 2-2 pitch. And a liner into left center field, a base hit.
Wait, I gotta skip ahead to the Bryant part.
Comes on, replacing. Then a laser to center field for a single in the 6th inning. And it's in the air to left field, and the Cubs have taken the lead. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, the first pitch slider after all fastballs, Nicholas Castellanos, and Kris Bryant is all over it. A hanger on the inner third. You see where Barnhart is set up. You see where the pitch is, not close. And the disappointing 7th inning here for the Reds. Lorenzen has not retired a batter in this series. Not one. We're back in a moment.
Can you hear how pissed off he sounds?
Yeah.
Oh my god, unbelievable!
I just pulled up the Gary Thorne one too.
In the air to left field, will it carry? It's deep, going back, looking up, and goodbye home run. Torres delivers the long ball. That is his first of the year. High in the air, going to left field, way back, Smith of the wall, looking, and goodbye home run. Out on him, and Torres will put it to center field. That is deep, way back at the wall, and goodbye. Oh my, center field, way back, going back and looking. This is unbelievable.
Little League and Pony League and all that.
That one to left field. Torres got a lot of it. Goodbye. Home run. Nope. 3-1 delivery on the way in the air to center field. Ball tagged pretty well. Wilkerson going back and looking. Another one. Goodbye, home run. Oh, what a day for Gleyber Torres. 1-0 delivery to him. Torres drives that ball center field. Hit deep. Going back near the wall. Wilkerson maybe. Nope. Goodbye, home run. Get him out of there. Don't throw to him. That ball put up in the air to left field. It is hit deep, going back at the wall, and goodbye home run on the very first pitch. Hit streak. Torres pumps that one in the air. That's to left center field. Wilkerson back. I don't know. Goodbye home run. You cannot imagine this happening. Earned. In the air to right field. Mancini going back on the ball by Torres. Way back up and I don't even know.
I mean, if you're
Torres drives one and that's going to be gone. Oh my goodness! By Phillips and a towering fly ball. Way back left center field. Looking. Goodbye. Way back left field. You gotta be kidding me. Goodbye home run.
Well, Howie keeps
I
a
swear
straight
to the
face.
Lord, you got to put 4 fingers up when Torres comes to the plate, because when he comes around third, it's too late.
That was all of his home runs against the Orioles this year.
That's hilarious.
He got pissed off. He got even more pissed off every time.
That was dude. He was like talking under his breath, like supposed to be announcing.
Yeah, he's like, God fucking damn it.
That is unbelievable. I can't get enough of like that. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
How many homers did he hit against them then? I lost count.
It was 13.
13. Wow, that's insane. Well, I know who to stack. It just might as well just run a 2-man stack between him and Gary Sanchez in DFS next year every time when they play the Orioles.
All right.
It's every time. I mean, I used them last year, but now it's just a no-brainer. Like, why going forward, you know? That's hilarious. I guess I don't know. I don't know what else we could talk about with the Cubs. I want to see, like, you know, hope for some breakout performances, and they need some things to go right in order for them to seriously contend this year. And it's extremely hard with it's going to be extremely hard with the Bryant situation and how that weighs over the team moving forward. I'm excited to see what David Ross brings to the table as a coach. I know he's very well respected and loved by the players just from his time with the Cubs and, you know, even being in the organization, not as a player. But, you know, I think it's going to be good. I'm really interested to see how those conversations are going to go between him and Lester when he goes to pull Lester from the game, because that was always his catcher. It was David Ross, and, you know, they're close, and that's the guy that you know, Lester pretty much brought to the Cubs to be his personal catcher. But it's going to be fun to see those exchanges. I mean, Lester's he's a professional. He'll give him the ball and walk away. But you know, it's just going to be. It's like an extra element that I'm looking forward to seeing the face and, you know, how that whole exchange goes. Because I know being a catcher, he's going to rely on like Contreras and Caratini to tell him like, hey, how's his stuff looking? You know, as all coaches or managers do to some point, or to some extent. But, you know, he caught him for so many years. He knows what kind of stuff he's got. And if he doesn't have it, well, even the whole staff, you know, for the most part, the starting staff. So I think that's what's going to, you know, maybe he'll give more leeway to guys like Hendricks, something that Madden seemed reluctant to do for the most part throughout his time. And it's kind of sad to see Madden go. I mean, you would think that a manager that broke a 108-year curse would have like lifetime immunity with a team, but it just wasn't the case, and they wanted to get a new voice in there. They thought maybe he was getting a little bit stale.
Yeah.
And some of his decision making was questionable when it comes to pitching management, and also lineup construction issues with like leadoff, who's hitting leadoff, and stuff like that, which is all debatable, I think, anyways, because when it boils down to it, they just didn't have a traditional leadoff hitter, and it looks like they won't have that again this year. Like if somebody like Nico Horner steps up and wins that job right off the bat, or maybe even gets called up in like May and becomes that traditional leadoff guy, like that's a guy that I could realistically see being a good major league leadoff hitter because of his bat to ball skills are just that good. But hey, we'll see what happens with all that. I mean, this whole marquee network thing, we'll see. I believe that there's still some agreements to work out with these cable companies, so people don't know if they'll be able to see it through their cable provider. But I mean, I'm assuming they're going to get all that stuff worked out before the season starts. But
they should, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was hilarious. I was watching, I think it was the Cubs convention, where Ricketts was talking. He was talking about the first thing he brought up. I believe it was the first thing. Don't quote me on that. But one of the first things he brought up was about Marquee Network, and he was talking about like, I can't even remember exactly what he said, but I know he was talking about like the relationship between fans and the Cubs, and what's going to make it better, what's going to build this strong relationship or whatever. And he brought up Marquee Network, and the entire crowd that was there just laid into him, just booed his ass. It was hilarious. Like, I want to watch that video just to. I want to see if I can pull it up and maybe we can play it on here.
Oh yeah,
because that would be just to get that quote.
Yeah.
It's Cubs Con.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. I think that division's gonna be tough this year. Like we touched on it earlier, but obviously the Cardinals, Brewers, and Reds are going to be tough. So see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the Reds really scare the hell out of me, and the Cardinals are always so pesky. You just can't get rid of them, even if they lose a guy here or there. And I believe they'll have Jordan Hicks back, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna. Will he start the season with them?
I'm not sure, but I think he'll be back at some point.
Mm-hmm. And that's big for their bullpen, shortening games.
Yeah.
We'll see if Jack Flaherty continues his dominance from.
Yeah.
Really, that started right before the second half of the season.
I think he's my early Cy Young pick right now.
Really? Hey, I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, if he continues what he did he was downright dominant to close out the year. I mean, he went on a stretch.
Fucking bitch.
I think my sleeper guy, this is going to be extremely bold.
Oh.
My sleeper is going to be Darvish.
Oh, really?
If he looks anything like he looked, like if he puts that together through a full season, how he looked in the second half and just a little bit before that, I mean, that was dominant.
Son of a fucking bitch. Sorry, it's still the Lakers game on in the background, so I'm like getting pissed off.
Oh, I thought you were pissed at my Darvish prediction.
Now they're down by 9 with a minute left.
Oh shit.
Oh well, go back to what you're saying though. That's fine.
Oh, I would say that's like my bold prediction, but I don't. That's not really my realistic prediction. When we, like, I'm sure we'll probably do like a podcast with, like our full predictions. I think it's DeGrom's like a safe bet, but
I don't know if we'll win 2 in a row though. So
yeah. Well, wait a second.
Oh wait, 3 in a row actually would be.
Yeah, because that was the second, right?
Yeah. I don't know if he can do it again.
Unless Scherzer took. Did Scherzer take 18?
I don't know. I think it was.
It was DeGrom, yeah.
But,
3 in a row is going to be hard to do, but the way he's been pitching, who knows? I could see Scherzer getting another one though, like returning to form.
Yeah.
Because he dealt with some. Was it the back issue or something? Well, here's that Ricketts thing. I want to see it. Hopefully this is it. Let me see if you can hear this.
Years is to continue to have the best relationship with our fans of any sport in the world, any professional sports team in the world. And that starts with the Marquee Network. The Marquee Network. What do you have against the Marquee Network? Believe me, you won't be booing about that in a year. You won't be booing about the Marquee Network in 1 year. What our promise for the next 10 years is to continue.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was funny. What do you got against the Marquee Network?
No, he was so salty that they booed him. Like, how did you not see that coming though? Like,
yeah,
it's gotten such bad reaction already. Like, you need to just like break that in to people and like, you know, like that shouldn't have been like the first thing that he brought up. Like, talking about the relationship between the fans and and then you say that. Like, come on, dude. No, the fans care about the product on the field. They don't give a shit about the Marquee Network.
right.
That's a cool bonus, you know?
Yeah.
Like, for how many years they've been playing ball on WGN,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then, obviously, NBC Sports Network, but it's like, come on. That's so dumb. Well, I don't even know why he would. It's just, he's like oblivious.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute. Back to the Cy Young candidates, though. My bold prediction is Chris Archer.
Oh, great.
Remember that? Yeah.
That's a hell of a call, yeah. Yeah,
Just remember when he wins it, don't make fun of me.
There you go, yeah. I can definitely say that you called that.
I called it.
Well, if we're going to go with that, then I'm going to say Tyler Chatwood.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Chatwood, Cy Young.
And Chris Davis for AL MVP.
Chris Davis. Yeah.
50 home runs.
Wait, which Chris Davis?
Oh, Crush Davis.
Crushed? Yeah. Yeah. Definitely happening.
Mm-hmm. Wonder what the odds are for
that. Probably plus 100,000.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I'll put 25 cents on that.
Shit, if it hits at 25 cents, you're still making good money.
Yeah, it's still like, what would that be? How much would that be? I can't do math. It would still be like, what would it be? 25,000? No, it would be 2,500, I think.
2,500? Yeah, I can't do the math right now either.
What'd you say? 100,000?
100,000, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be 25.
100,000 to 1, pretty much. So
I think wait, hang on.
I think it's 25,000.
I think
right?
it would. Oh yeah, Wait, 3, 4. Yeah, it would be 25,000. Yeah.
Shit, off of a quarter.
Half of a quarter, then I'll fuck that. Yeah, I'll do it. I mean,
Yeah,
you never know.
right.
Just like picking the Tigers to win the World Series.
Oh yeah.
For the
What are their odds right now? I wonder.
I don't know. Probably something like 10,000 or something.
I'm looking on Odds Shark right now at the Cubs win total projections for this year. I think it came out 4 days ago for Odds Shark at least.
Yeah.
Looks like they've got them sitting at 86.5, which is 2 games higher than the Reds. Believe it or not.
Oh damn.
84.5 for the Reds.
Mm.
I would put some money on the Reds at that.
I would too. Yeah.
That seems a little low, considering what they brought in and what they acquired mid-season. And then if you do get some bounce backs from guys like, I wouldn't expect Votto to take like a major leap in the power department at this stage in his career, but I like just him being a good professional hitter around those other guys,
Yeah.
And the Cardinals, holy crap, got the Cardinals at 88.5.
Oh shit.
Brewers at 83.5. Care to guess the Pirates?
I'm gonna go with 68. No, I mean something like that. 67.5.
67. Close. 4 higher than that.
Oh really?
Well, 71.5 for the
Okay.
Pirates. And they got 69 last year, though. So, I mean, I could see pretty much a repeat performance of 69, 68, 67, somewhere like that. Who knows? They might even be worse than that. But probably pretty realistic in that area. Holy! Oh, okay, never mind.
What?
I was looking at last year's win total for the Angels and not the over/under for this year. I was like, "Whoa, that's the over/under."
Oh shit! That's the case. The dip to go over. Jesus.
Yeah, I definitely hit the over on that. They are smashing that.
Yeah.
Got the Sox pretty low in my opinion too, but
Where do they have the Yankees at?
Yankees are at pretty predictable. They're at 101.5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they are the highest over/under, I believe. Looks like. And the Dodgers are at 98.5. They look like they're second. Twins are pretty high too.
Yeah, I feel like the Dodgers are gonna go up if the Mookie trade actually goes through. It would be like more like 100, like 100.5.
Yeah, I think they must just be waiting on the finalization of that, because I would guess it'd be at least at 100.
Oh yeah, the odds for the Tigers to win the World Series at 100,000 right now.
They're at 100,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same with Kansas City, Miami.
I would put more money on Miami.
Yeah.
Well, I put 25 cents on them. What if we all just wasted like $1? Put like 25 cents on the Pirates, put 25 cents on the Marlins, 25 cents on Detroit, 25 cents on Kansas City, 25 cents on Baltimore, maybe.
Yeah, they're the same thing. 100,000.
Insane. Yeah, I don't think it's happening, but just set your money on fire.
Yeah.
What would you guess the Astros total would be at?
Astros, so it's tough. I'm gonna say 93.5.
Ooh, you're right. You're pretty much right on the money. 93.5.
Oh, that's what I said.
Yeah, you're like right on the money.
Damn. Well, you said pretty much on the money. I thought. Oh.
Well, you said 93. It's 93.5. So.
No, it's 93.5.
Oh, you said 93. Oh, okay.
I took a pause, but I mean, most of them are, like, all of them are pretty much halves, aren't they?
Yeah. No, I misheard you then. Yeah.
They have to have as a half.
Right. Yeah, they're all set at a half. Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're right on the money. Are you cheating? Because you were looking at some other odds over there.
I was just looking at the odds for the World Series.
Oh, gotcha.
I wasn't looking at the win totals.
93.5. I might hit the under on that.
I would do. I think I would too. I think they're missing the playoffs this year.
I'm not ready to say that they're missing, but I could see them missing. I could definitely see them missing. They're gonna have a tough time in their own division.
Yeah.
And like the Angels, the A's, and I really don't think Texas is as bad as with the additions of like Kyle Gibson and some of the other arms that they've brought in.
Yeah.
And guys that they've already been there.
Yeah,
I don't think they're as bad of a team as they. Right now they're at like 79.5 wins.
I'd go above that.
I might have to go above that too. I think they can easily finish just above 500. 82, 83 wins.
Yeah.
You might be sweating it out towards the end, but I think they can do that.
Yeah.
Especially like guys like that, like Kyle Gibson. Maybe he just needed like a change of scenery,
Right.
Almost like the I know you guys are talking about Dylan Bundy.
Yeah, Bundy. Yeah. I think he's gonna be good this year with the Angels.
Yeah, I can see that.
Saying.
Yeah, I was listening to that podcast actually while I was working. I was listening to you guys talk. Oh, and they got Kluber too.
Yeah, that's
for the Rangers. Kluber, Minor, Lynn, Gibson, Jordan Lyles was like lights out at the beginning of the year last year, and I mean he's got some stuff. And that's their number 5. It looks like.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid rotation.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I mean, Kyle Gibson's always had good stuff. He just, for whatever reason, he just doesn't have. I don't know if he just doesn't mix it right, or I don't watch his starts all that closely. But let's see. I mean, that's a decent. And then their lineup, they brought in Todd Frazier, which isn't like a huge move or anything, but to platoon over there, because you're looking at Andrews at short, Nick Solak was solid in his like little bit of time, and then you got Santana, who was pretty damn good. So if you got him, it looks like he's penciled in the center field though. Looking at the depth chart. Calhoun still got Joey Gallo.
Oh yeah.
I don't think their hitting will be bad. I'm gonna botch the crap out of his name, but Shin Soo Chu.
I think that was right.
Is that right? Okay. I always like slip up though when I say it. So.
I just fucked it up.
But I mean, he's getting a little bit older, so we'll see what he does. But pitching wise, I mean, like I don't think like with that kind of lineup, like they have some pop with Calhoun and those guys. Like I could see them hitting enough. Their bullpen's going to be a question mark, though. Their bullpen's going to be a real question mark because Leclerc he didn't start out as good last year. He was supposed to be pretty locked down, but he had like a 4.3 ERA, looks like. But I don't know. I know this isn't a Rangers pod. I don't know why.
Oh, it's all right.
But I mean, yeah, I don't think they're going to be too terrible with them. I mean, but the A's and the Angels look much improved though too. So,
Yeah.
but I would say I'd take the Rangers pitching maybe over the Angels. You know, Angels.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I do like Bundy. I think Bundy can break out though. He's always had the stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I don't know. They do have a really solid 1 through 5. If Ohtani's, he's not going to pitch every fifth day. It doesn't sound like, but Haney, Teheran, or Tehran, however you want to say, Griffin Canning. Yeah, they're going to be solid. I think the Angels still edge that over the Rangers, but I don't know. We'll see, man.
Yeah. Right now, I think the A's. I have the A's winning division.
You got the A's winning it? Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I would like to see Trout in the postseason, but
Yeah, I want to see it so bad.
I really would. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Whether it's this year or, next year or whenever, but like they really have a lot of depth though, the A's.
Yeah, definitely.
Starting staff could be terrific. Manaya, Montas, if you get breakouts from Lazardo at puck, their starting staff could be really good. I don't know if we did that, or maybe we did.
Oh, we kind of. Well, no. So
I couldn't remember. I know we were talking the over-unders, but I don't.
no, we didn't really do a specific. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with 86, and they finished second in the division, behind the Reds.
God damn it. I mean, I could totally see it, though, so I can't fault it. I mean, they finished third place last year.
Yeah.
So 84 and 78. How many wins did you say?
86.
86. Well, give them a couple more.
It could obviously change if they trade KB though. If they trade him, I think it's going to be less.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're taking away. That's at least good for a few wins. So I'm going to be positive here. And I'm going to say if things break right, I think they can get 88. And that's, I don't see them breaking 90. They could, but I don't see that happening. I think they're more of a 85 to 88 win team. Maybe even 80, 84 again like last year. But I'll say 88 wins. I'll be on the positive side and say that they can do it, and just cross my fingers and hopefully they can do it. But I would not be surprised if I say that even then it's going to be a dogfight for the division, because I think the Reds will get. I think they'll get close to that number too. So I mean, I could even see like a division tie.
Oh yeah.
I kind of think it'll be within one game of one or two games, unless the Reds just take off, which I could see that too. But
I hope it ends at a 3-way tie.
Yeah, there you go. Who's the third team? The Cardinals?
Yeah, the Cardinals. No, the Pirates.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Chris Archer starting the tie-breaking game.
Yeah.
How many times have we dogged Chris Archer on this podcast?
It has to be at least the second time. Or the third time.
Well, not even this podcast, but like all the pods that we've done.
Probably so many times.
We've talked about the trade, I think, a million times, but
yeah. I mean, the trade was just so bad.
It's hard not to talk about because it's like so cringeworthy.
Yeah. But yeah, he's winning the MVP though. I mean, the Cy Young. So.
Hey, could do both.
Oh yeah. Shit.
The guy is that good.
Right.
Okay, sorry. Now I'm just being a dick.
And the World Series MVP.
Oh, wow. And they're going to beat the Tigers, right?
Yep.
All right, lock it in. Everybody go place your bets right now. All right, man. I'm gonna ride out of here.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks again for coming on here, talking some Cubs and whatever other shit we talked about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, always fun, man. Always fun. Whatever we talked about. Half of the stuff I already forgot, but
yeah, I'm gonna have to cut out a good half hour at least of this, or an hour.
Probably, yeah.
Probably
I'm probably the worst guy to have on the podcast, to be honest. Like,
I think it's a tie between you and Johnny. But yeah, that was Joey Ricotta. Yeah, I almost messed it up again.
It's all good, man.
But and his Twitter handle is the Riot 326. I have it memorized by now at this point.
There you go.
And I'm Alex Kielar, your host. And you can find me on Twitter at Alex Kielar. So that's pretty simple. But
and
then this has been another podcast, and coming out with more of these 30 teams. So as we finish them throughout, probably done between when it's spring training. So yeah, catch us next time. I don't know why I said check us next time. Catch us,
whatever.
Yeah, catch us next time, and you can never have too much pod tar.